My name is Dottie Lottie and I work here at the Art Gallery, and I get to take our littlest art lovers on lots of wonderful art adventures. Today we're going to be exploring something called a beautiful oops. I wonder what that's going to be about. We'll start by reading the book, and the book is called Beautiful Oops, and it's by Barney Saltzberg, and this is one of my all-time favourite books. Oops. A torn piece of paper, oh, what's going to happen here, is just the beginning. Can you see that torn piece of paper became the crocodile's mouth? Every spill, like this paint spill, has lots of possibilities. Bent paper is something to celebrate. You see how that piece of bent paper became the penguin's head? A little drip of paint lets your imagination run wild. Can you see that that drip of paint became a little pig and then the wheels of the car? A scrap of paper, this looks like a piece of torn newspaper, doesn't it? Can be fun to play with. So this shape became the head of the dog. A smudge and a smear can make magic appear. So we can see here that this smudge became the rabbit's face, and the smear became this fish, and I have a feeling the rabbit might be going to eat this fish for its dinner. A stain, oh no, there's a stain from the coffee cup, it's going to happen now, has potential if you play with its shape. So the coffee cup stain became the muddy pond from which the frog is going to jump. Holes in your paper, this, are worth exploring. Now can you see what's happened here? There's a hole in the paper, but as we pull it right out, you can see that the hole goes all the way through. When you think you have made a mistake, oops, see this piece of scrap paper in the middle here, think of it as an opportunity to make something beautiful. Can you see that scrap of paper became the body of the sheep? At the gallery, we really like to explore beautiful oopses. We never really make a mistake in our artwork. We just have to use our eyes and our brains and think about ways to make our mistakes into something beautiful. Did you enjoy that book, Beautiful Oops? I did. It actually really is one of my favourite books, and it is because it shows we never really make a mistake in art. We just make a little oops, and with a little bit of creativity we can turn that into something beautiful. So I'm going to show you how to make a page of oopses, because if you're someone who hasn't made oops before, well, you might not know how to make them, and making oops can be quite fun. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to put a little bit of, drop some paint on my paper. Do you remember how in the book we saw that the pig became a car? And we're just going to move that a little bit so that it makes some shapes. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to be able to turn this into. And then I've got just a piece of sticky tape. So I'm going to add that down here. And what else might I add? Well, we definitely need a turned over corner, because can you remember in the book we had a turned over corner like this? And then we might make a little bit of a rip down here too. Okay, there's a few oopses now on the page. I'm going to have to think what I'm going to turn these into. All right, well, I think the first thing that I'm looking at is that this, to me, probably looks a little bit like a boat. Let's see if we can turn this into a boat. So we've got that. And what else do we have on a boat? It's going to be a sailing boat. So let's say that it's got a tall mast up the top there. And then, of course, it needs to have a sail. So, it's looking a bit like a sailing boat. Might do some, because it's the Dottie Lottie sailing boat, so I'm going to add some dots on its mast there. Okay, what do you think? Starting to look like something? Okay, what about up here? I wonder what we could turn this folded over corner into. Can you remember in the beautiful oops book it turned into a penguin? Maybe I could turn mine into, see what I could turn this one into. What if I add a nose and maybe some whiskers? And if I add 2 eyes, look what that's starting to look like now. What about if I add some ears and maybe just a little bit of fur up the top here? Do you think? And then I could add a little body and a long tail. And then, of course, if I added a little block of cheese off to the side, can you work what that might be? Do you think we turn that into a mouse? Okay, now I've got 2 tricky ones here. I've got this paint splash. It's true. Let's see what it might look like. Now, something fun to do is sometimes you can turn them around, so you don't always have to look at it the same way. So maybe if I look at my paint splash upside down, let's see what it might turn into now. I think that this is going to be, I think it's a tree. And I think it's a tree on the top of a very big mountain. Think so? I'm going to add some grass to my tree, and I think it's an apple tree, so I'm going to add a few fingerprint dots in. And because it's Dottie Lottie land, they're not red apples, they're purple apples, and we're going to go with that. Okay, so we turn that one. So we've turned that one now. We've got this tricky one over here. Got this rip. Can you remember in the book that they turned it into a crocodile? I wonder how we could go turning this one into a crocodile. Let's see. So we've got to do the crocodile's nose first, and then the top of his mouth, and then the bottom of the crocodile's mouth. And then we need to think about the crocodile has big eyes, doesn't he? So let's add some big crocodile eyes on top of that. Okay. I think that's same to a crocodile. Now, wouldn't be a crocodile unless you had sharp teeth. So I'm going to add some sharp crocodile teeth into our oops. Right, do you think? Will we see if it works? So is it like a crocodile mouth opening there? I think I'd be a bit frightened if I was swimming in the water and that crocodile came towards me. So you can see how we turned all of our oopses on the paper into different things. We turned the rip into a crocodile. We turned the paint splash upside down so that it became a hill with a tree and some grass. And then we had a piece of tape on the paper and that became a boat. And then up here we turned our folded piece of paper into a mouse ready to eat some cheese. So now I'm going to get you to create some beautiful oopses, and then I'm going to get you to see what amazing things you can turn your oops into. Enjoy! Thank you for joining us for another great Dottie Lottie session. I hope all of our littlest art lovers and maybe some of our bigger art lovers out there enjoyed our story and art activity today. Until next time, have a Dottie Lottie day and I will see you soon. Bye.